Hello everybody and welcome to the Cone Racing League. We are here for round 11 of Tier 2 and today I am joined by Xenon.
Ooh.
Yeah, his first time commentating with me, so let me know if he's too quiet. But we should be getting underway fairly shortly, I think. We are still waiting on one reserve to join the lobby. So I've got a bit of time to talk about the standings and everything else, I guess. And time for me to remember to mute Discord, because I always forget to do that. There we go. So, Tier 2 standings. Who have we got? Here's Nelly Safu leading it over Cal Cohen, just 16 points between the two of them. Bearing in mind, first to fourth, there's a point difference of 17. So, very easy to close that gap down. All one of them needs is just to win, while the other one isn't on the podium. Bit of a gap down to Strauss in third position, who himself isn't too far ahead of DC. And then Hobbsy, a bit off of that, dropped off the kind of lead 5 a bit. Having to worry about Big Balls, who showed some very good performances. I think despite not even being here half the season, he's got 3 wins under his belt, 2 of them as a reserve. One of them, I think it was last race? I'm just trying to remember. I can check. Yes, he did win last race at Austria. Strauss coming second and Nelu Safu third. So that was a double podium for Aston Martin, who I'm pretty sure are still the best kind of constructor tier combination. Xenon is a little quiet. Okay, I will turn. Can I turn Xenon up? I think I have to turn everyone else down.
You should be able to do with Discord, I think.
Yeah, no, I've already got your max volume now. I'll do it through OBS.
Probably. Should be just sort out.
I'll turn me down a little so you can just turn everything up. Looking at it, we do now have, I think we have all 20 drivers. Yes, we do. Quickly go over who's today's, who are the reserves of today. We have got, I'm trying to work out who it is. I think we have IRT Patster. No, we don't. We have Rough the Next Day and Leo. I believe it's just the 2 of them. The drivers have now been told to ready up, so we should be getting it started fairly shortly.
Quick killer as well.
Quick killer. Oh yeah, he's normally tier 3, isn't he?
Yeah.
In fact, he's the tier 3 current lead in the championship. He's just kept on improving and improving faster than everyone else. And certainly doing... What team is he in? Is he Red Bull?
He's in the Alfa Romeo. No.
Yeah, no, he's had a great season down in tier 3. And here we go, jump to the stream where Q1 will be starting fairly shortly. So you race more F1 than me, so any idea what the strategy is going to be? Xenon? No, okay. Just trying to work out who's going to do well. I can't remember what drivers said about this track. I know this was the track that Wouter picked initially. This was going to be the Russian Grand Prix, and CRL decided to change that over to a different one, which was selected by Wouter, the driver who initially picked Russia. So, not everyone's favourite track. I know some drivers seem to be struggling. Consistency. DC didn't seem to be a particularly big fan of this. How did you find the track?
What the?
Are you just being quiet as your mic's not working too well? Because if you are talking, I can't really hear you. Right, your mic is good. Okay, give Zen a moment. His mic currently not working too well. We can hop on board. Oh, I heard you for a second there.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
No, right, okay, yeah. I have a feeling it might happen again. I don't know what was going on though. It worked and it stopped.
Yeah, well, you're back now. So I'll ask you again, any idea what the strategy is? Because you certainly
Uh,
do more F1 than I do.
Yeah, it was, from what I saw before, it was a soft medium, but obviously you can differ that. Maybe a medium, soft medium, obviously different tyres for different laps. Or this alternate strategy I saw was a soft, medium, which I just thought was too many stops for a track like Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, but I guess that works quite well with safety cars.
Well, yeah.
Very much depends on what happens with them.
Yeah, I was in the party before with most of the tier 1, and they said any lap of one incident, and a few of them might be boxing straight away to do a one stop. Go straight on the hards, but I guess we'll find out when it gets to lap 1.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It is a... What is it? It's a 28 lap race. So, see how it goes for them. From what the graphic I've been given says, it's going to be either a soft medium or a medium soft. So just a one stop for most drivers.
Yeah. In tier 1 and with the in-game tyre strategy, it did say it was going to be a 2 or a 3 stop, but I mean, pace definitely matters when it comes to tyre wear, and anything could happen, to be honest, especially with lap 1 and any part of the race, to be honest. Anything could happen.
Yeah, Big Ball's starting his first flying lap. In a fairly clear track at the moment, half the drivers still in the pits. One of the drivers in the pits on the medium. Oh no, just changed to soft. The only time I think I ever see drivers using the medium in Q1 is when they just want a bit of extra practice. We'll see. Big Ball's certainly a driver to watch after the number of wins he's got this season. I'm not sure if it is the most of any driver, but certainly up there.
As Dool's already crashed out. Dool's not both Ferraris actually have both got yellow flags. Dool has got no front wing, and his teammate Captain Nick, I think it is. No, it's not.
Krishna.
Chris. He's still got his wing, just letting people pass.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, his teammate is
that
crashed.
A crash in the pit lane by Rough the next day?
It is.
Right, we've already lost one driver. Big Ball's still on his lap.
We'll find out. No, it's not. It's at turn 1. So he crashed into someone, and he's parked on the apex of turn 1. I just caught that from the hat, and he's on board. So he's parked on turn 1.
Already a driver down then. I think it's the first time I've seen him reserve here.
There is another hat going on board.
Big Ball's having a moment there in the final sector, catching it. Probably going to coming into the pit lane. No, he's not. Of course, the slap going to be a slow one, so not a very good benchmark. See, 1:36.8. I want to try and find more time on that one. Better to have a lap down than not. Who will be our next driver on a quick lap? I think it'll be Underboss. Of course, Krishna not on a quick lap himself after his mistake in Sector 1.
Yeah. As Captain Nick's crashed out at turn 3. Just going into turn 3, sorry.
Underboss a 36.4. Yes, 2 drivers down already. Let's see if we can see this point of view from Xenon, just on the outside there.
Right. Yeah, on the apex.
They're making it quite easy for the other drivers.
Yeah, I mean, that's twice now. The 2 DNFs both were found right on the apex of a corner. As we saw with Rough the next day, I think it was Leo that had to take quite a bit of avoiding action. Took all the runoff just to avoid him, so it must have been very distracting to the driver.
Yeah, of course. So you're not used to full quali, are you? In Tier 4 they just do short qualifying, so you've just got one session, all 20 drivers.
Yeah. Helps quite a bit, you get quite a few toes, but at the same time, traffic is a bit of an issue sometimes, especially around tight circuits like Jeddah. This track, I think it works well with short quality, open, and traffic's not really too much of a problem. I didn't personally race it, but from what I saw, it was good racing, especially compared to last race in Austria.
Yeah, do you see purple middle sector? Now he's one to watch out for. Where's he in the championship? I want to say he's 5th. I might be getting my numbers wrong. I can check. He's 4th. He's ahead of Hobbsy. Actually, he's not too far behind Strauss as Cal Cohen, current P2 in the championship, sets the fastest lap. Krishna coming in. Actually, quite a bit behind him, 7/10 behind him. So Cal Cohen comfortably up the front at the moment. I think with that time he might already be safe, but there is still 12 minutes to go. Plenty of time for things to change. DC said in his first lap up to P2 with 36 flat.
It's looking quite clean for now. I've not seen any incidents between drivers. I mean, obviously, the two DNFs have been so low. Don't think they've crashed into anyone, but obviously we won't know until we can see the onboards.
Yeah, Alex up into P2, the Season 4 champion, I want to say, of Tier 2.
I know clue.
He's certainly been here more than a few seasons. Leo on pole. That's interesting. He is a reserve. I think this is the first time I've seen him out on track. But we'll have to keep an eye on him if he's up front.
Yeah, it's been quite quick. Obviously, that lap time is 3/10 quicker, over 3 times quicker than Cohen. So
yeah, who himself is 3/10 back to the next driver. So, gap in the field by a fair bit. Strauss, another driver to keep an eye on. Currently 3rd in the championship. Had a bit of a wobble for a few races, but seems to be starting to come back to form a bit after his podium last race. So he'll be looking to improve that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it was Strauss who said he might be tempted to get a tattoo of a cone if he wins the championship. So
hopefully we can see that one. That would be probably one of the best moments of CRL that I've witnessed.
Ah. Right, I've just seen Ruff the next day saying his wheel wasn't connected. Always get to look at the chat. And McConey wishing Haas good luck. Hobbsy and Lars, actually. Hobbsy's certainly a good driver, current P5. Lars, can't remember where he is in the championship. See how the two of them do. Lars currently the man. Still needs to get a stronger lap down. Don't know where that mistake was on his lap, or if we just had a slow one and came in. We'll see Nelu Safu, our current championship leader, and he's got purple sector 1. His teammate ahead of him. I wonder if he's going to try and give him a little bit of tow. Who's the yellow for? Was that for Leon?
Yeah, that was for Leo. He spun it. He's taking. He's in that very slow. Must protecting those tires, maybe for another run. But he spun it on the curb and put the power down too early. No damage. He just spun it.
Yeah, I guess that's the ideal way to do it, isn't it? Don't want to get knocked out in Q1, especially after you're already up front and pretty much guaranteed into Q2. And with the...
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I've never commentated Tier 2, so I don't know a lot of people's pace. But we've got Christian. That is the second Ferrari, so it's not... I thought, never mind. That's the first Ferrari, second person to crash out at turn 3. Very weird place.
Yeah.
The way he's gone through turn 3, it looks like he's gone straight over the bumps.
Past that, I didn't quite get close enough. Yeah, again, it seems to be those first few corners, isn't it? There's Nelu Safu up into second with a 35.5, couple tenths behind Leo. You've certainly shown a very, very good performance here for a stand-in.
I did see, I was in the party with Tier 1 and Tier 2 drivers, and they all said Sector 1 and the hairpin are going to be quite a few difficult positions for the moment, so we'd set up quite a low downforce, but at the same time, a few corners maybe need a lot of downforce, which can ruin your lap. I mean, the hairpin especially. It's not the new updated version. It's the old chicane, so that could affect you going through there. Turn 1, turn 2. I've seen a lot of people spin out going over, take too much curb. There you go, turn 1.
Yep,
That's an Alpine.
4-star gone round. You can see his front wing there on the side of the track, staying out the way of Mercedes.
As I was saying, it happens. Yeah, quite a few incidents potentially through there tonight.
Yes, so something interesting we'll have to keep an eye on. With Krishna getting a 36.3 and then DNFing, unless we get 15 drivers beat that time, we are only going to have 14 drivers advance to Q2. So the way the F1's done, if people don't beat that time, he'll essentially be 15th, but won't get knocked down. It's weird how it does it. Cal Cummins won, there's a retirement though. So.
Yeah, I just want to point out, Calhoun retired in the pits, so he's feeling risky with his time. Good time, but I mean anything could happen. Be knocked out of Q1, which could be unfortunate, but
yeah, at the moment it's fairly safe. His teammate joining him. That's both AlphaTauris now happy with their laps.
Yeah, both in the pits as well. So as just saw someone go faster, that was a Haas. That was Hobbsy from what I can. No, it's not. That's Hobbs' teammate. Is it Aya? La?
I usually
sorry
just say Lars. That's what I normally say. Don't know if that's correct or not.
Yeah, taking P6 behind the AlphaTauris, proving the AlphaTauris might have a good time. Nearly 3 tenths.
Ooh, Marty having a moment again in the first sector, manages to keep it out the wall. Luckily, he does not lose a tyre or even damage his front wing. His tyres won't be too happy with him. But see Mercedes there waiting. Hopefully, it doesn't get in the way of this AlphaTauri. No, Quick Killer there. All the drivers bunching up. But both Marty and Quick Killer are yet to set laps. So they'll both be wanting to get a bit of a move on. Once the yellow flag goes, you can see 5 minutes left in the session.
Looks like Quick Killer. I don't know if it's my internet or if it is actually Quick Killer's got 1 bar of connection, which could be proving risky if we start in Tier 4. Chugs the reserve lost his seat from his connection, so if that could play a big part in the Quick Killer with these times.
Yeah, it looks fine for me for the moment. I'm trying to see.
Yeah, looks fine. He's just make it out. He's on 1 bar. Sorry.
Don't think there are any drivers. I'm trying to see if there are any drivers currently on a fast lap. Unless no, Lars isn't. Kirpiar is on an in lap. Hobbs is on an out lap. Marty and Quick Killer both on warm-up laps. I think Quick Killer will be our next man to start a lap as we see Lars hit coming into pit lane. So keep an eye on.
Deluxe, he might be on. He's using the DRS and he's on low fuel, so that could be a sign.
I think he's just trying to get to the pit lane because we saw him earlier on when Marty had his spin. He was slowing down to let Marty get back onto the track. So I reckon he'll be going into the pit lane, but here we go, Quick Killer starting off his first fast lap. Yeah, Deluxe behind is going into the pit lane.
Could get tight between these two. That pit exit, always quite worrying, especially doing it side by side, one in the pit as well. As Pit gets fast as sector 1, going through the hairpin now. Yeah, just about going through the hairpin, sorry.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Quick Killer does, because of course he's one of the fastest, if not the fastest, in Tier 3. So it's seeing how he fares up against the Tier 3 boys, what can he do? I suspect he'll probably be in the midfield. I'll be surprised if he's all the way up front. But, you know, he's very clearly the most improved in Tier 3 Season 6. Because at the start of the season, I don't know what his earlier on results were like. I think it was Leon leading at that point, most of them, but Quick Killer. Huge improvements. So, very interested to see how he does.
strangely, Strauss retires in the pace, which is normal, but his teammate Nelly Saffo, which is ahead of him in P2, still out on track. You'd think me and teammates would both retire if one's happy, but Nelly Saffo clearly wants to go faster than Leo.
Ooh, quick small moment.
Is he going to go? What time is he going to set?
Up to 9th, I think I'd be happy with that one.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't retire.
Doesn't guarantee his safety. How about Marty then? We saw Marty just behind, of course, very green after his spin last lap. His tyres might not be too happy with him though. Still actually happy with his lap, but 36.4 stop as a 12th position. Not too bad. Marty, one of the quicker qualifiers from last season. 4-star currently at the back of the grid and actually struggling a little bit on these tyres. Despite the fact it is their first lap on them.
I just want to point out, Leo got past his sector 1. He's in P1 already on 2 levels soft, but he clearly thinks he wants to go faster. He's past his sector 1, past sector 2 now. Trying to prove his pace for Q2 and Q3. Flying over the chicane. He might get traffic from the Red Bull of MF Underboss, I believe.
Yeah, there we go, Underboss staying.
Absolutely flying. Being in P1, I'm not sure why he'd use these tyres again, but proving his pace.
Yeah, quite possibly taking unnecessary risks here. I mean, I haven't seen him before, I don't know how skilled of a driver he is, certainly not lacking skill.
Looks like he's quite fearless, to be honest. I mean, he's thrown it over
there
the
we go, 35.2 gets... Also, only 1/10 over his previous lap. But it's someone like Krishna, you see down in 15th. Actually, 36.3 is a bit slower than I'd expect from him. He did just get one lap in. But Krishna's a really fast driver. He's just extremely inconsistent. So it's wondering, is Leo going to have the same problems or not?
I think Doolwell's just about missed the flag. No, he's not. He's just about got the flag, sorry. He's starting his flying lap into turn 1. It's looking quite fearless and quick, as always. Heading down out of turn 3 and into the first chicane of the lap. Very quick. Throwing it over the hairpin, just like Leo. Into the hairpin. Looked wide, but he's got fully back on the exit. And now use DRS to power down the straight into the second hairpin of the lap. DRS wide open and ERS on full. Going into the second hairpin as nails the apex and nails second apex. And get DRS wide open down the second straight.
Has Alex
second
crashed?
Straight of the lap.
I think he must have.
I think he has. It's showing as yellow as in middle sector. It's duo, so it's fast sector 2, sorry. Yes, he's crashed.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been there as well. So that's now 2 drivers with fast times who have crashed out, and that might mean only get 13 drivers moving forward into Q2, which would be a bit of an interesting twist. Certainly make it easier for those who do get through.
Who was that, sorry? Was it Alex?
Yeah, Alex TG in 14th, and then also Krishna. Both
There's
of
an
them.
unnecessary risk to be taken there.
Yeah, Hodsey is knocked out, as is 4-star, and it looks like Marty might be as well. Yeah, Marty is. Marty down to 16th. Underboss just scraping through. Actually, no, Underboss is 3/10 down. Although he did beat Krishna. But the 7 drivers knocked out of Q1. Alex and Krishna both with crashes. Then Marty, Hobbsy, 4-star, not quick enough times, and Captain Nick and Ruth the next day both crashing out before they can set laps. Ruth the next day forgetting to connect his wheel and I guess going straight on into the wall. But Leo looking very strong as a reserve here. Have to keep an eye on the McLaren driver.
Making sure we've not had any 5 place grid penalties or anything from any incidents. No, we've not. Cleaning Q1 for other drivers. As Ruth the next day and Captain Nick didn't even get into sector 1, didn't even start sector 2, and they'd already crashed out. So starting from the vast row for those two.
Yeah,
unless someone unexpectedly gets a grip penalty.
just under a second separating the top 13. And actually, both the front two drivers showing the same nationality. I'm not mistaken, is that Romanian? Yes, it is. Okay,
I think
good.
it is.
I know my stuff. Nice. So yeah, we'll see how Leo, of course, he can shake up the title battle a little bit, because reserves can come in and then points still count towards constructors. And if they later get a full-time seat, it counts towards that. But if he's going to get the win, then that obviously means the other people fighting for a title aren't able to get those points. And drivers are also aware of this from the start of the season. So we'll see how it turns out for them. But only 13 drivers hit.
Is DC already switching over to the mediums? Loaded into the lobby, switched over to the mediums. Is the Aston Martin? Both Aston Martins. No, sorry, that's an Alpine and an Aston Martin.
Yeah, we've got Strauss,
leaving the
Cobb
pits.
Paradox, Claire PR. Who else do we have? I think it's just those guys for the moment.
We'll get more. I'll keep you guys updated. Yeah, just real DC starting on the mediums. Or what he's gonna. Never mind. Now Zafir's gonna go onto the mediums. For his first Q2 lap.
I think it's quite likely.
That's a Red Bull.
They might just be going for a banker lap. There's also Deluxe who joins in.
So Dual and that's DC. Yeah, Dual and DC both leave the pit lane for their first flying lap. Dual's on the soft and DC's starting on the medium to see what he can do. Is that Deluxey? I think that's how you pronounce his name. Also going on to the mediums.
Yeah, that's how I
Big
always say
balls
his
now.
name.
Few people. Yeah, few drivers are going to see how fast the mediums are, as that's Lars going on to his mediums. Few drivers, nearly half the field.
Strauss overtaking Cobb Paradox here. Luckily not doing a repeat of what happened between Stroll and Tiffy in the Australia qualifying. It looked like it wasn't too far off that. So,
would be unfortunate.
interesting to think, De Wil is the only two-time CRL champion, both his wins being in Tier 1. But the next closest person is also in this race, 4-star, who hasn't actually made it through to Q2. He has won championship in Tier 3, but what not many people know is back in Season 2 when he was racing in Tier 2, he got the same number of points as the person who won the championship. He just lost a number of wins. So he missed out by 1 point on having 2 championships within CRL. Here we go, on board with Strauss now though. Going for the first sector and managing the Cubs. Seem to catch out quite a few drivers so far. Just fine. So we go clear the track ahead of him. Does have Lars a fair bit up the road, that shouldn't be a problem. And these drivers are fairly good at staying out of the way of each other anyway. Might have to worry about Cobb Paradox behind him maybe.
Yeah, most people are at the pit lane now. Just 3. Big Balls starting on the mediums from what I can see with his first lap. Probably win on the softs, waiting for traffic to go down, and the same with Leo, I believe. Yes, it is. As MF Underboss starts his lap, so does Quick Killer. Yeah, perfect. No incidents from what I've seen so far. No Turn 1 incidents. Or Turn 3.
Yeah, Jacob, I remember when I was commentating on that race at the end of Season 2, because I'd worked out they tied on points, but I hadn't actually done previously what the countback was, so I didn't know which driver had won until after it was checked. There we go, Strauss though setting the first lap of 36.8, so not particularly quick. Cobb Paradox the next man, 37 flat, with Claire PR getting a 36.6. I think that's Hobbsy.
Quick Killer looks fast.
Is Matt saying this track is awful? No idea who that other person is. Keep an eye on Quick Killer.
Yeah, faster sector 1, we'll see. Not faster
Ooh,
sector 2.
that was lucky. You went over the curb and didn't
Yeah.
invalidate.
6 tenths faster goes real DC than Clever.
Yeah, and on the
Off
medium
the
tyres as well.
Yeah, that could play a big role. Maybe you could do medium, soft, medium. Does that lap look pretty quick for mediums? There's 400 quicker
Us?
goes Deluxe.
Exactly 400s. Quick killer, hopefully not too quick of a lap this, because if he does, of course we saw him go wide there, which means don't get caught going wide on stream and qualifying and not getting invalidation, if the stewards will be at your throat. But no, 39.2, although gets on the curb unsettled quite a bit there, except turn 1. So you're knocking over a Ballard there on the inside. More drivers setting times now.
Lars going P5 in the Haas, just behind Duo with a 36.7. Just over a tenth slower than Duo, as the Mercedes is Deluxe, letting Quick Killer. Yeah, Quick Killer past. I couldn't tell who it was. Yeah, no incidents so far. We've had one Strauss speed in the pit lane and Quick Killer exceeding track limits, which is already his first, I believe.
Yeah, well I think the drivers know there's less to kind of push for. Yeah, only 3 of them are going to get knocked out here. You can take it a bit easier. Actually, the mediums seem to be a surprisingly quick tyre.
Yeah, and the Thunderboss went out of fuel, so hopefully it doesn't cause any incidents going through the last sector with a few cars behind him. There you go. Yeah, we've got yellow flags again. I think that's Deluxe again. Yeah. Something non-started lap.
No, interesting he's going round again, because he's already got a fairly solid time on the medium tyres.
Yeah. Got that in Q1 though, so as we saw, it was Leo setting, I think it was like 6 tenths faster on his last lap, even though he was first anyway, which could potentially ruin his qualifying, as Cohen goes fastest.
Yeah, now interesting
2 tenths quicker.
thing to point out, some of the drivers who set a time on the softs, both Strauss and Coparadox set a time on the softs but have now changed onto the medium tyres. So we'll see what they do with that. Because yeah, certainly some drivers seem to think the mediums might be the tyre to go for here.
Yeah, you can see Deluxian Real DC setting solid times on the mediums. Yeah, might be showing, they might be taking inspiration from the 2 drivers up top on the mediums. Looking fairly quick and solid, these tyres. Yeah, a few people said they would try and start on the mediums, but to be honest, anything could happen with them. Starting soft might even be slower through the race, changing the strategy.
Yeah, haven't seen what you've seen so far. Who's your prediction for pole going to be?
Oh, I'm gonna say Leo. He was fast in Q1, 6 tenths faster. I know it's not the fastest qualifying second, but was very fast in his Q1 last run. He's not starting a lap yet, he's on the mediums, and he just looks fairly quick from what I've seen. I've never seen any of the Q2 drivers. I usually watch Tier 1, unfortunately.
Oh, not even on qualifying, because our qualifying usually happens before Tier 1.
Might happen to Q1 and Q2, but yeah. Leo looks fairly quick from what I've seen, so yeah, I'm going to say Leo.
Yeah, I think Leo's actually going to end up pushing too hard. I think my money would be on Nelu Safu. His big balls go second fastest, setting again the quickest time on the mediums. 35.8 now.
Although Cal Cohen's another strong contender for pole, on his 2 lap old soft, he's 3 tenths quicker than Big Ball, his teammate. So, has he got quite a bit of pace? I think he does, but I guess we'll find out in about 10 minutes' time when P3 gets to the last parts. And Nelly Safu gets to go P2.
And again, another driver doing it on the mediums. Cal Cohen is currently second in the championship, but I think he's completely missed 2 rounds altogether. So he's got a higher average point per race than Nelu Safu. We're 10 rounds in so far, just 5 rounds to go, including this one. So we'll see, looks like...
It's going to be tight. Sorry, it's going to be tight between the top contenders for the championship. 5 races remaining. And to be honest, all the drivers have a chance. Especially with the top few.
I think Hobbsy
it's
too far back. I think any of the top 4 could get it. Perhaps DC and Strauss a bit too far back, but if they have a string of good races and it goes the other way for Nelu Safu and Cal Cohen, then they might be in for a shot at the championship. It's Cole Paradox of 136.666. And Leo, he's now started his lap. Getting in the purple middle sector.
just looking at the standings because it keeps going way over my head. But yeah, the medium's looking very strong. Now the top 3, in the top 5, we've got 3 of them on mediums. Deluxe is on 3 lap holds, and he's still faster. He's 400 faster than DC on the soft. So, yeah, mediums. Never mind, top 6.
DC's time was set on the mediums. He just now changed onto the softs. So Leo sets 35.5, 14 thousandths behind Cal Cohen. That is a strong lap from him.
The mediums, top 7. 6 people on the mediums. So I think the medium is going to be the way to go through Q2. Yeah, proving our point now, Zafu and Leo, maybe even Cal Cohen will have a chance at that pole tonight. In Q3, Cal Cohen is on the softs, but I mean...
Oh, interesting. Cal Cohen just said he did a lap on mediums, but it's showing softs. So it's possible he's also done a lap on the mediums, and it's just Codemasters having a laugh, doing their usual, messing up in some way or another.
Yeah, I've just checked his best. Not the current, I've checked the best tyres, and it says he's started some softs. But, yeah. I don't think I can get his, No, I can't get his stream. I don't think he is streaming. I would try and get it if I could.
No, what are you saying? Yeah, he's on mediums. So, good old Codemasters. See anybody? I don't think anyone is currently on a lap. Is that one of? I'm trying to see if anyone's at the start lap. Is that Quick Kill about to start his lap on the mediums? Only set a lap on the softs so far. Let's see what we can do on this. You can see drivers in the tunnel underneath him. Got time for this plus one more. So not too much pressure on the driver. Of course, coming up from tier 3, big jump on pace.
Big balls, he's crashed out. No, he's not. I saw you left, so I thought he crashed out, but he's just retired in the pits.
And that's an interesting one, because I'm not sure he'll be safe.
No. Has he retired in the pits?
Yeah, he has. So. Yeah, I can see he's dot in the pit lane.
Yeah, I thought so in the 12-1, but...
That's a slow Deluxe in his outlap, so not driver bringing out a proper yellow. Have to keep an eye. Quick Killer now, 2 seconds, green, purple middle sector for him. Obviously needs to find more time, but I think his lap on the softs was just a slow one to get one in.
So, some quick 1 minute, so...
Yeah, not long left on the clock. Who's going to be the next man to settle lap? I think it'll be Lars. And a load of drivers in outlap. Just Quick Killer has a small moment there that he catches. Has time for one more after this. His first lap on the mediums, which seems to do a bit better. They've had more time. The top 4 all happy with their laps retiring. Interestingly, so's Club PI also retiring. Quick Killer setting a 136.2. Lars half a second green after the first 2 sectors. See more drivers now starting to set their laps. Next man to the line after Lars will be, I think it's one of the Red Bulls. Way back in the first sector. Sorry, at the start of the second sector. There's Lars up to P3, a 1:35.6, and I think he'll be fairly happy with that one. Fairly safe with that time. It is on the softs, so won't be able to start on the mediums.
Oh yeah. That's Lars. Letting. Who was that? That was Col Paradox. Yeah, allowing Col Paradox through. Yeah, I think the driver here has been taking pole, but fewer of them, I think, it could be in tier 3 driver, tier 2 reserve. I mean, never say you can't, but tier 3 to tier 2, quite a big jump. Fastest lapping on the medium.
You say that, but Strauss was tier 3 last season, and now he's third in the championship. I think there's someone else, Col Paradox, who's in the same boat as well. He was tier 3 last season. I think there's one more driver as well in the same boat. So some doing very well. DC now, see what time he can set straight up to the front, a 1:35.2. Be happy with that lap. Quick killer. I
think if you put that into Q3, you might be getting top, maybe front row.
Quick killer going 7th to Will, putting Strauss on the danger zone, under boss with the next driver, and he goes into 8th, knocking Strauss out. It's just now a battle of Col Paradox versus Deluxey, both currently on the lap. Col Paradox 2/10 up after the first 2 sectors. He needs to find ideally 7/10 here.
Oh, crucial.
Half a second in the last sector alone.
Deluxey, he's out of Q2.
He's done it. Oh, you're right.
He invalidated his lap.
So Deluxey's going to get knocked out. He misses out by 16 thousandths.
Quick Killer has just made it. I was just saying the tier 2 reserve, tier 3 driver just made it into Q3 in tier 2 tonight. Strauss and Deluxey are both out of Q2, so they're going to be starting on the mediums for the race. Strauss is going to be starting on 1 lap mediums and Deluxey on 3, which could prove costly. No, he's not, sorry. No, forget that. He's not in the top 10, so Quick Kill is going to be starting on 2 lap all mediums. Shouldn't affect much, but...
Calcoen also on 2 lap soft tyres, so that might be even more costly on those tyres.
Good. I'm going to wait for Deluxey to pull in his pit box. There we go.
So, have a quick look at the time board, and then I'll stick up the track preview you've got. So there we go, DC with the fastest time, 1:35.2. Only 2 of those we've seen so far today, the other one by Leo. Then Calcoen, Leo, Lars, Nelly Safu, Col Paradox, De Will, Big Balls, Underboss and Quickler. And then the 3 drivers knocked out, Deluxey, Strauss and Claire PR. So what's that?
It's unfortunate for Claire PR. He's on the soft as well. Wasn't expecting a bit more. He was 5/10 off the pace from Strauss alone. Not sure what was going on there, but yeah, 1.3 seconds to DC with the fastest time. So something might be wrong there with Claire.
Yeah, SpongeBob calling Big Balls for the win. We'll see how that goes. Certainly driver capable of it. We saw him win last race. Already got 3 wins under his belt this season, only coming in as a full-time driver. I think it was from round 9.
Who's going to be the fastest to get out of the pit lane in Q3? I'm going to guess everyone's going to go on softs. It doesn't affect your tyres. We've got the first one, that is MF Underboss. No, it's not, never mind. We've got an AlphaTauri at the end. I'm just jumping out ahead of him.
Yeah, I think Calcoen's the first AlphaTauri already going into the tunnel.
Yep, and then we've got MF Underboss, I believe. Yep. So that's the big balls, both AlphaTauris, now out on the pin. But yeah, I mean, anything I said multiple times, but anything can happen in Q3 now. Straight up battle for pole. Tyre wear does not matter to these drivers now.
Yeah, who
Apart
was
from
it?
if you want to use these tyres again.
Who was it who got fastest last session? I've already forgotten.
DC.
It was DC. So I think,
Went on to the soft at the end, yeah.
yeah, pole battle is going to be, should we say, Leo, DC, Nelu, Safu. I think Calcoen might be in that as well. But there's quite a few of them who can do it. It's not just one or two drivers capable of getting it. Of course, there's all the chance in the world that DC is going to come out of nowhere and set a 34.9 or something, but remains to be seen. Of course, this is the last time the CRL drivers will race on this configuration of Abu Dhabi. Next game, of course, going to have the new layout. Don't think there's going to be.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Don't think there's going to be another season between now and then. I guess if they do Cone Cup again, Abu Dhabi might pop up then, but not the most favourite track of every driver. Picked by Walter up in Tier 1. He won Season 5 by Country Mile. I think he had over 500 points across the entire season, which is an awful lot as Calcoen now starts his lap.
It's a bit of a fight for slipstream between called Paradox and Quick Killer in Sector 3.
Yeah, neither of them on a lap yet though, so I guess it's just kind of a...
Yeah, Cold Paradox was slowing down to let him pass. That's close. Quick Killer just didn't take it, and he's invalidated. He's out now.
Actually, Quick Killer
He's fast enough, I don't know.
Quick Killer going really slow compared to some of the drivers. You can see in the track
His
map.
tyres, I did see, did lose the rear a little bit, one of his tyres, but no, his fast lap is, it is valid, so as long as he doesn't invalidate now, this time should depict where he starts if he doesn't go any faster.
Calcoen with a small moment there. We'll see how he does. He should set a decent lap mark for the times. What drivers need to stand up against? We've got 10 minutes of the session, of course, 8.5 left.
You know, you need to move.
Wild Dog saying he
Oh, very
agrees
late.
it's going to be Big Balls who gets the win. As of course, Wild Dog is biased because he's also from FRL, so we'll see. I've definitely seen the name SpongeBob before, I can't remember who it is. There'll be a 35.1 and that's the quickest time we've seen so far today. Who's going to be our next driver? It's going to be the other AlphaTauri next.
His teammate FRL Big Balls could just put him on pole position, as Wild Dog thinks it might.
Seems to be a bit of a fan favourite at the moment. Let's see how he does. There's 2 more corners to go. You rarely see him mistake on these last 2 corners.
Very tight for track limit P2 by 5/10.
Yeah, half a second off his teammate Cole Paradox then. Next man. And he gets himself, missing out 5 thousandths behind Big Balls, but Nelly Savage straight to the front with a 35 flat for him. His Quick Killer goes 4th fastest. Lars will be the next man. He's going to set a 1:35.9. Again, really in amongst the drivers there. So close between some of them. DC next driver at 35.2 up into 3rd position. Slots in with that lead group. And that is...
won it at turn 3.
And to wait for the track to clear. Trying to see if he's taking damage and not staying out the way of the Red Bull coming past it. DC
I don't
there.
think he has taken any damage. We'll find out as it goes. No, he's not. Just spun it. Look like he was just spun it.
Calcoen improves. So it's up to put 5 thousandths behind Nelu Safu. We saw that gap earlier, I can't remember which 2 drivers it was between. I guess there's a chance I completely misread it. But Big Balls also on a fairly decent improvement so far, 2/10 over his previous fastest currently.
Point out a bit of a slipstream battle, maybe even DRS. It's being called Paradox, Leo, he's invalidated, and the Aston Martin Nelly Safu. And I think Leo's gonna, no, called Paradox is gonna fast lap sorry. That's no, none of them are validated. Make a bit of a Nathan train through the last sector.
Yeah,
I
a
don't
lot
think
of
any of them are boxed. Never mind, yes they are. Sorry, I didn't see that. I thought it was.
I think they've all boxed. Is
Yep.
Lars trying to improve at the moment, or is he just coming on his lap as well? That looks like him.
He's boxing.
Yes, okay, we'll stay on board with
Killer.
Underboss then. One or two drivers yet to settle up. His teammate just up the road from him. I think, which way his place. He'll be coming into the bits.
Everyone's going to be boxing. Oh, never mind. MF Underboss is finishing his lap. Everyone's going to be boxing for the last 3 minutes or so, and then they'll go for both stops.
36
Underboss.
36 flat for Underboss, so right at the back of that kind of group of the people around the 39. We've got 39, so 35.92, 35.96, 35.99, and 36.05. So really close amongst those guys, and you kind of got a massive jump up to the top four.
Definitely not good. Leo got held up in that little train of invalidation. And not set a lap gauge, 4 minutes 30. So if he invalidates these, and once you're getting a little bit cocky in Q1, and all that effort into his lap, then essentially might be running his tyres.
Oh yeah.
Is he going to go faster?
De
Find
Will
out.
did improve on his lap, up to 35.8, so he's going to want to try and find some more time there. Moment and wait for Leo to get round to start his lap. In the meantime, so you can see there for championship purposes, it's 40 points for a win, which means very, very easy for Cal Cohen to turn the tables and Nelu Safu. Currently 16 points between the two drivers, so 40 points for Cal Cohen, while Nelu Safu gets nothing, would flip that from a 16-point gap against him to a 24-point gap in his favour. Most drivers don't wish ill will on their rivals. Just 5 rounds left, 2/3 of the season down. Might be hoping, potentially getting a bit of that to happen.
Just noticed Baylor put in chat about the desync on Monday in Tier 4. A few leagues, I know, I think it was PSGL. I'm going to check, they've cancelled their race tonight. Yeah, PSGL cancelled their race for desync issues, so that could potentially affect everyone, especially tonight's league race, as desync has been quite a bit of an issue on F1, especially this time. So yeah, hopefully we don't get any issues tonight, but you never know.
Yeah, De Boer with the purple sector. Well, I don't think I've seen any, certainly serious desync so far.
Unless, yeah, I haven't seen any at all. I was just thinking the issues at the start, but then I realised the wheel wasn't plugged in. So
Yeah, not particularly ideal.
I'm not really sure how you can realise your wheel's not plugged in after doing an outlap.
Well, I was thinking that, yeah, what was he doing? His outlap on his controller and then trying to change to his wheel, put his foot down and didn't turn.
True.
I
don't know,
guess,
because he had no front left tyre, and he was in the middle of the apex at turn 1, and the apex is quite far from the wall, so I think he's making up a few stories.
well, we'll just have to see how he does in the race, see if he can make up for that mistake. It's Leo now in the last sector. We'll see where he slots in. We expect he'll be nearer the front, so in amongst that current top 4. He'll make it top 5 in the low 35s, possibly even a high 34. No, he's invalidated. So
Yeah,
Leo
I'll
now,
just cut out.
this next lap will be his one lap. This is all he's got a chance to do. So he's now essentially got a one lap shootout.
Has it invalidated? No, I was wondering if it invalidated this lap, because if you invalidate there, as MF Underboss has no, he's not. He's just letting him pass before he'd spun. Yeah, Leo perfect through the apexes, turn 1, 2, 2, and 3 into the chicane. Down the hill, knocks out the 100-meter board. That
Ooh.
could be crucial.
Yeah, some drivers won't be too happy about that.
One now. I know Tier 1 isn't too happy when brake boards are knocked down. Found that one out in the pie.
Yeah, well,
DRS quite open down the straight though.
of course, especially in Tier 1, a lot of the guys don't use racing lines, just because they can get in your way. And if you can judge it better yourself, if you've learnt the braking points compared to the tyres, often you'll be a better judgment on that red line and it won't be distracting you from the cars around you. We'll see Cal Cohen now. The time for this plus one more lap. I think he's timed it well. Only needs to find 5 thousandths to jump Nelly Safi. Let's see what he can do. He is up to provisional pole position, gains 2 tenths in the first 34 of the night.
Doodle might miss the flag here. He's got it with 1 second left. And my Thunderboss has missed it though. Unfortunate for him. As Leo, that's a big mistake.
Yeah, neither Red Bull getting it, so DC and Underboss not able to improve. Leo on his last lap. Didn't see the mistake he made, but...
Just going to say, if this lap isn't very good...
No, he's 7th.
Not what he wanted.
Not at all what he would have wanted. He seemed to be qualifying very well.
Lost about 4 tenths, which would have put him P4, P5.
I think P5.
Yeah, unfortunate. Just going through the triple right under. Losing it on the exit.
Nelly Safi. Ooh. Sorry to interrupt. Nelly Safi now been provisional pole off Cal Cohen. Lars just coming into the pit lane. He won't be improving. So the next driver is going to be Big Bulls. He's currently 4 tenths off the 2 leaders. Quick killer after him. Oh no, he invalidates coming out last corner. And you know what? It would have been pole as well.
Again. Cal Cohen, is he going to get pole position? No, he's not. He's pitting.
That's an interesting
He's
one.
only 100 off, and he could have potentially got pole there, but he looks happy with front row as quick killers now. No, it's Dougal, sorry. Around the final corner.
I think he's the last man. He's up
P3.
into 3rd position. Oh no, Carl Paradox. I think he must have gone a really slow lap, given he's behind the 2 Red Bulls.
Yeah. That's his lap done.
So, I don't know if you saw what Big Bull's lap was. It was a 134.813. If he didn't invalidate, he would have got pole. But today, Nelly Safi on pole position.
Oh look, we could have lost time going actually through the last corner instead of invalidating. Might have lost half a tenth, but would have still put in pole, I believe.
Yeah, there we go. Actually, those top 5 drivers, bit of a gap down to the rest of the field. That gap did close up towards the end, of course. You know, Leon will be trying to fight through, but a lot of the drivers are going to be starting on the mediums. So, going to be an interesting race. Lots of different tyre strategies. Is it medium, soft, soft, medium? Is it play with the safety car? Immediately go into hards if you get into an accident at the start of the lap. We'll see. The 2 people fighting for the championship, less than 200ths between them.
A 3-stop might even be. People might be committing to the 3-stop around here.
We'll have to see with that one. Certainly sounds like a brave decision.
Yeah, I mean the in-game tyre strategies believed it was, which that meant a few people did choose that. It gets it off what people have chosen, so yeah, a few people did choose a 3-stop. A bit random, but yeah.
Yeah. Drivers now choosing setup, so going to be a bit of time. In the meantime, we'll have a look at the results from the previous round, where you can see you've seen the same names up there, the top 6 there. Big Bulls, Strauss, Nelly, Safi, Cal Cohen, DC and DeWill. All of them got into Q3 here. So you can see it's the same people week in, week out.
Yeah, I believe 6 of the top 7 who made it into Q3 were also on mediums. Yeah, mediums look like a very good tyre, so I think a lot of them, especially outside the top 10, are going to choose the mediums for a medium, soft medium. Sounds like the best way to go. But I guess we'll find out in the formation lap.
Yeah,
So,
so
safety cars apparently. Sorry, go on.
apparently Dewill's practice was in Q1 and Q2. That was his practice, but no, starting P3 nonetheless. We certainly know he's a very quick driver. When he does practice lots, he is Tier 1 pace. Wanted to step down to Tier 2, just a bit less serious racing. The main difference between Tier 1 and Tier 2, obviously there's a bit of pace, but it's their racecraft. Tier 1 just pushed that bit more. Oh, some stall on the line. I think that was the thing in this game.
It looked like it. Alfa Romeo was quick, so it looked like he just went and then obviously stopped to allow the others past.
Yeah, tyre-wise, we've got
stopped right.
Krishna on the hard tyres, then Underboss, Lars, Co-Paradox, DC on the soft tyres, but everyone else is on the mediums. So 15 out of 20.
The mediums looking very strong.
Yeah,
Right.
seems to be the case here. That's what I think. I mean, looking at this grid, I used to kind of have drivers who I perceive to be the fast ones, and now I look at this grid, and it's the vast majority of them. So any of them can move up through the field.
Just saw those tyre strategies. It changed from what I saw in Tier 3. It was a soft, medium, medium, or a soft, medium, hard. The game might not register the soft hard, so you might have to put mediums in just for that extra stint, but you might be seeing a one stop, and be quite surprised, but I mean, it could happen. Especially with the Turn 1 incidents.
Well, I call them to bailiff, you're talking rubbish. So, I don't know.
Nice.
I guess we'll find out. Well, the thing Jacob gave me, who himself is a Tier 1 pace driver, I don't think he's racing in Tier 1 today. His Wi-Fi currently too rubbish to do much more than send the graphics, which of course I'm very grateful for. But, yeah, I think Quick Killer's going to be very interesting here. McConey pointed out he's in the top 6. That is a Tier 3 driver. Admittedly, pretty much the quickest Tier 3 driver, but he is starting from 6th position, just on that 3rd row. And he's on the mediums, which seems to be the preferable tyre as well. Drivers coming towards.
Alcoin did set his first lap on mediums. The game must have been glitching. Obviously for others at the soft, but he is starting on mediums, so he did.
What was Quick Killer
very
done?
fast on the mediums.
Quick Killer late to his grid. There we go, Bailiff giving some support to the Alpines.
I just need Alfa Romeo to do good. That's what we need in the championship.
So here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights are up. And away they go, very short hold again. Seem to have a lot of those recently. Nelly Saffron, no mighty start. Cal Cohen caught sleeping a little bit. DeWill on his outside already. Although Big Bull's trying to challenge DeWill further back down the order. Marty already up 3 positions. No one down too many. A very good start from Marty. An equally good start from Cal Cohen now. Having to defend from DeWill. Hold that 3rd position. You can see the drivers starting to bunch up a little bit there. It's that Quick Killer and Big Bull's side by side through that chicane. It's causing the drivers to bunch up behind them.
The 100-metre board and the 50-metre board have both been wiped out going into the hairpin.
Quick Killer up 2 positions, Big Bull's down 2, DC alongside him. I think they might even go 3 wide here into this hairpin. Nelly Safi miles ahead of everyone else there, you can see. This battle, what is it? Battle for P4. Quick Killer seems to have got it though side by side with the AlphaTauri. The AlphaTauri versus Alfa Romeo. Oh no! He's in the wall!
That's Quick Killer and Alex. No, I've never had Big Balls.
For the moment, that is just a yellow sector, no safety car, not even a VSC. No, they do continue off. Just a front wing lost.
It was quite a big hit, to be honest. I caught the back end of that, and it was a massive hit. Went straight into the wall, unless he got pushed. But yeah, no safety car, so.
Did look like he was slightly led into the wall. I think I had a fairly good view of what happened. I can't imagine he'll be too happy. Wouldn't surprise me if there was a report. Underboss going a bit deep there. I think Leo might try and capitalise on that. There's a driver called Leon in Tier 3, and I keep calling him Leon, but he's Leo. So actually, Cal Cohen is now closing up that gap to Nelly Safu.
The hash might have just hit IR's, Lars' boxing, sorry.
What's on
might have been a late box.
Doing? Underboss dropping positions like it's nothing. He's just hit Strauss. I think Underboss, does he have some kind of damage? Oh, he's lost his front right end plate.
No, he's got no damage. Has he?
Can't see a front right end plate. Oh no, he does have
No,
one.
he's got one for me.
Not sure, but just, I don't know, he just lost 3 positions. Maybe thought he overtook people unfairly and was trying to give them back. Not particularly sure. It was going slow, now looking to go back on Strauss, though he has tapped Strauss on the rear going into the corner. Front wing saved the pain. You can see Leo going wide ahead. So who's that? Strauss.
Too wide.
And Deluxey, all this contact. And that's Deluxey going round, and then that's immediately afterwards.
That's not gonna be.
Loads of people going round there.
Yeah, it was too wide, being forced down Captain Nick.
Alex.
The pit stop strategy's changed again.
Let someone back through. Hobbsy on Clerpiart. Yeah, it was an Alpine, and I know it was the Mercedes of Deluxey. I don't know who the Alpine was. I guess it's called Paradox, judging by how far back he is. And look at this group bunching up here. What are they doing? Someone's taken out either a braking board or a front wing there. Saw some debris flying. Oh, Williams in contact. Everything's going wrong for these drivers.
That's going to be a late box for Deluxe. He might get a penalty for that one. Caught in the white line. Looked like Strauss got pushed over the exit and he had no time. He was given damage.
Quick alert.
Fairly.
Catches the exit of turn 1 curb and he's into the wall. Managed to hop on board with him.
But he's at the local safety car as he is close enough to the apron.
Front left tyre there. It's just a VSC for the moment. Saw plenty of chaos so far this race.
You're not going to be able to see the crash. Yeah, there we go.
Well,
a bit too late, IRs.
I managed to hop on board with him just before I saw him going into the wall, so I hopped on board with him and managed to get that.
Yeah, first DNF of the race goes to Quick Killer. The reserve from Tier 3 in Tier 2 for this race in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, he's DNF'd on lap 3, sorry. I was trying to spit that one out, lap 3. Unfortunate for him, he had a lot of pace, but that's racing. I think he took out himself there. I don't think anyone else was to blame, but I didn't see anyone else around when I hopped on.
So it looked like he qualified. Well, we'll have to see what happens between the top 2 when the VSC is released. Can't be too much longer of it now. But everyone in the top 13 has not lost out on any positions. But some big losers there. DRS re-enabled, and here we go, under racing again. And Cal Cohen, I think, almost immediately got himself a warning from his eagerness there. Going a bit wide, not able to
Nelly Safu. Nelly Safu wasn't expecting the VSC to go there. He was mid-corner, he just trying to scramble over the throttle. Gain control, but yeah. Now that is dual into fight. P2, sorry. He's just for a second. He's getting closer.
Yeah, the 2 Williams battling here for P8 position. Is that?
Oh, called Paradox. I think he spun Captain Nick there. See them fighting, and I saw Captain Nick slowly drop back and spin. So, yeah, that could be unfortunate if it was. There's very close battles from 12th all the way up to 9th, I believe.
8th, actually.
8th,
2 Williams.
Yeah. 2 Williams holding each other back.
Alex up the inside. Clerpiart actually let 2 cars through. Hobbsy potentially trying to get 2 of them in one on the outside. Alex going deep. Clerpiart trying to get back on them, but not able to get through. And we get 5 of them all on the line here. Is that 5? It might be 6.
This is where I think Hobbs is going to go for an overtake on Clerpiart. On Alex, sorry, but I think his teammates also will get him. No, he's not. Alex just about holds on.
Oh, bit of
He
contact
tapped him.
there. Actually allows his teammate to get through. What's happening here? The Williams on the outside of the Haas. Currently Hobbs in a Williams sandwich. Looks like Alex able to pull away slightly ahead of him.
Has gone into Hobbsy. Seeing traction, losing the traction. I could see him starting to slide away. He went straight into Hobbsy on the entry to the exit of the triple right hander. No damage. Just a collision.
Yeah, rough the next day after his stake, forgetting to plug in his wheel in Q1. Now moving up the order, getting past 4-star into turn 1. Who actually might immediately be under threat from his Alpine teammate of Cole Paradox.
Yeah, what the next day? He had obviously, as he just said,
Captain Nick.
Captain Nick.
DNF in Sector 1.
Nightmare for the Alfa Romeo.
Another one gone. And the driver's coming up here. I think there's a high chance of a safety car potentially. Or has they just decided?
In place. I think he's in such a position that, yeah, there you go, green flags. Looked like he was off the apex massively, but he was on the pit lane exit, so it would have been different if someone was in the pit lane.
Yeah, it just seems normally you get safety cars quite easily, and it doesn't even have to be a driver DNF. But this race, it seems they're just safety inspectors are turning a blind eye and letting the racing continue. Cal Cohen and Nelu Safi still racing away.
We did notice in Tier 4, the last few races, safety cars. I don't think our safety car amount has been changed like the rates, but we've noticed that safety car doesn't come out as often. So is that something to do with the new patch update that hasn't actually been told about? Because since that update, we've like in Jeddah Tier 4, for example, we had a few crashes on the apex and no safety car was brought out. So maybe the updates have ruined the safety cars a little bit, but
yeah, Cal Cohen Cal Cohen was starting to close now this a bit there. They had a bad turn 1. Still trying to reel him in, but DeWill also joining in on this fight. Not too far behind in that Ferrari. You can see there are two leaders. DeWill not leaving them just yet. Of course, DRS hugely effective across these two straights. I think we might finally see Cal Cohen go for a move for the lead. And he is, he's on the outside. Flying past. Now the Safier won't even be able to do anything in the braking zone. Gonna have to try and go for it down this next straight. Wants a quick exit here. Seems like he's got a quicker exit than Cal Cohen. And on this time, while these two trading positions, DeWill going to be closing in on them, saving his ERS. Well, actually, he seems to be losing a bit of time to the two of them. Yeah, he really is saving ERS. These two side by side. Nella Safi getting Cal Cohen on the outside.
Cal Cohen has down that straight. His red light was flapping. He had less than 10% ERS left. We're only on lap 6. The he's using his ERS, you can see, trying to fight Nelu Safi all the way. That could massively affect him through the next bit of the race, especially into the pit stops with only like a little bit of ERS. You're 19% now, still going down as he's using his hold up, keep up with Nelu Safi. I think he's slowly going to pull away, and Nelu Safi is going to be ahead for the first few pit stops, from what I can see.
Yeah, drivers still going for the moment. I think, from what I've been told, it'll be between laps 16 and 20 drivers will be hitting. If there's no safety cars. Underboss going into the pit lane now. I'd assume he needed a new front wing. Felt he had some kind of damage.
I will check. I don't think he had damage. He wasn't in there for too long. I think he started on the soft though. I'm going to check in the pit stops. No, didn't have any damage. He blocked him from the soft. The soft is starting to slowly die. Noticed Chris started the race on the mediums, on the hard, sorry, and noticed he got held up into the crash with La and Big Balls, I think it was. Which they are. Who was it? It was a few people off the box, and Chris started on the hards. It's ruined his race.
Yeah,
he was hoping to do a hard medium.
Two leaders again battling side by side. So I think 3 or 4 corners now. And we will have an almighty view of this from behind. You can see it here. He'll be laughing away. They're wasting their ARS, using up their tyres. Now he's right on the back of the two of them. And he's chilling here with 86%, while they're on... Actually, Nelly Saf doing very well on ARS himself, compared to Cal Cohen. It's always nice to see the two championship rivals fighting away out front. And then the rest of the field refusing to let them fly away. What's Leo now up to B5? We know he's quick. And a bit of a mare Q3 compared to what I'd be hoping for. We saw his pacing Q1 and 2, couldn't even get near that in Q3, only had one lap down. And even that one I think made some mistakes on. Starting to remedy that for himself. Up into P5, his teammate just behind him, Marty. You seem to remember he started very far down. I think Marty must be up a lot of positions. Yeah, Marty up 10 positions. It's nice to see battles all the way throughout the field. Who's this here? Clerpy R and Cole Paradox. Actually, Clerpy R very nicely parking his car just where it needs to be. Sorry, Cole Paradox parking his car exactly where it needs to be, blocking off Clerpy R. And now has to worry on the next straight. Cole Paradox does have the advantage. He has the DRS of his teammate up ahead. Slipstream isn't really doing quite as much. Held on to this 11th position though. There's also that battle down to 16th position. Big Bulls, Deluxey and Lars right at the back of the order, those three. Lars slightly dropping off that. I suspect Big Bulls should be able to just pull away from the others eventually on those tyres. So Lars gets first time penalties for corner cutting, 3 seconds to him. That lead battle. Still maintaining the same order. Nelu Safu, Cal Cohen, De Wil doesn't really seem to be trying to challenge him just yet. At the moment, just sticking in the slipstream, making it work. As we've had Col Paradox go around on that same corner in the first sector. Oh, and he's gone around again. His tyre's still very hot from his initial spin. Just be careful. I think that's him right down to the back of the order. Oh, and he's been given 10 seconds of penalties for that. Now I can say they will almost certainly be removed. No, he's put it in the wall.
No.
Was that
out of the race?
Not sure if that was deliberate or not, but lost control of his car, put his foot down too quickly on very warm tyres. Of course,
look like it,
he would have had those 10 seconds removed had he got to the end of the race. Stewards would barely needed a glance to see that, yeah, it's complete rubbish, he got them.
I was watching his onboard when he came back onto the track. He put the power down a bit too early. His tyres were very hot, and he just lost the race. Tries to hold it, you could see him braking and turning. But
still no safety.
He was a bit of a passenger.
See, now down to 17 drivers. At the moment we're using one every 3 laps, so that's his 11 will finish. We'll see this lead battle starting to spread out now. That gap threatening to extend over a second. Cut Cal Cohen off from the DRS. De Wil actually has been cut off from the DRS. Oh no, neither of them have got it. Has it not been re-enabled, or no? They just all happen to be out of range at the detection zone. That's before that happened, right? Learn something new. So Leon looking for a move. No, deciding better of going for a move on DC. Perhaps trying to pressure him into going deep. He does go slightly deep, and that will mean a better exit for Leon. Already gaining huge chunks of time. Now DRS to work with him here. Close that gap up even more. Going fine at the inside. DC, yeah, just maintaining his line on the outside. You could tell Leo was going to have more than enough speed to get through. He just wants to maintain the racing line as much as possible, actually catching the curb losing a bit of time to them and settling his car. And already more than a second off of that McLaren. So who else have we got? This battle for P7. Mercedes, oh, who's that? Marty. Yeah, he's crashed it where Latifi did. That is a safety car because that is splat in the middle of the road. We'll see, will you see first man able to go into the pit lane? I think majority of the drivers behind will follow him in. The top 4 coming out ahead of the safety car, not able to pit this lap. Probably going to do it the next. None of those guys are going to end up double stacking. I think Underboss may have suffered from double stacking. No, Underboss didn't even pit. Oh, but he's on fairly fresh tyres, so a great chance for him to just move up the order. Perhaps even as high as P5. I'm not sure where he'll come out compared to his teammate. But Red Bull in a strong position at the moment. So yeah, the Aston Martin safety car here. Let's see, I suspect all 4 of the front runners will want to pit. Keep an eye on them just in case.
Ian Underboss looked like he might have a chance of getting to the front after the safety car. Nelly Sacker, when the safety car came out, looked like he was trying to box. Obviously, it was too late, and see him braking. Way too late, so you have to wait till this after he goes. Once you get fresh tyres.
Yeah, but the thing is, they've now got the question of, do they go onto soft tyres, which probably will really struggle near the end, hard tyres, or, you know, what strategy do you go for? Because if you pit now onto mediums, obviously you have to pit again for these guys. If you go onto softs, you might struggle to make it to the end. But so far we've had 4 drivers DNF, only one of them actually bringing out the safety car. Of course, one bringing out the VSC.
I personally go on soft. I know you got a few laps in the safety car, so that's to lap 13, 15 laps. No, probably about 14 laps.
Let's see.
What do you think, yeah?
I think now the Safra saw going onto the medium tyre there. It's softs for Cal Cohen, it's hards for DeWill, it's softs for Leo. There. All 3 different compounds were picked. Now Safra on the mediums, he's the first one out. Cal Cohen next on the softs, DeWill on the hards, and Leo going to come out on the softs. Hang on, where's DC going to slot into all of this? I think he is only just going to come out behind them. Yeah, not quite able to jump any of them. A bit unusual given the deltas behind the safety car. And with that mix of tyres, Mr. Will, he will be trying to go to the end now. He does not intend to pit again unless he gets damage.
Sorry, it could be an interesting restart for Nelly Safford and Cal Cohen. Obviously, both going to retry to the rear RS, both on 100, both on fresh tyres. Cal Cohen on the softs, Nelly Safford on the mediums. But it looks like they might be having an interesting fight to the end of the race, to be honest. Different strategies. Nelly Safford, he's going to have to box again, sorry, but he's going to have to box again, as he's gone medium, so that could ruin his race. And the softs might just about make it. The mediums weren't, I wouldn't say they were dying, but they were obviously graining and degrading. So, yeah, Cal Cohen has a chance to win this, so does DeWill, and most of the pack, to be honest. Yeah, everyone's got a chance at winning this race. But
yeah, I
think the restart Cal Cohen is going to... Sorry, go on.
Yeah, basically, I mean, the front 4 I'm looking at the moment, they seem to be the quick ones. DC, I don't think I would exclude from that, actually. Safety guy is coming in this lap, okay, so we'll have to keep an eye on what Nelu Safa does when he decides to go, but he'll want to try and get a gap from Cohen on those softs. Won't have to worry too much about Leo. We know DeWill's a good driver, he can probably defend even on those hard tyres. anxious just now to see when Nelly Safu goes, and he does go there, yeah. And gradually feathers on the throttle, actually perhaps confusing Kakkonen a little bit already. Leo on the outside of DeWill into turn 1. He's going to try and hold it on those softened tyres. He does make it work, and actually DeWill now possibly under threat from DC behind. You see, looking to take advantage of DeWill going a bit slower, but not able to do it.
Surprised, the fight between Nelly Safu and Kakkonen, he chose the right chance. Kakkonen was in the middle of the last corner. Safu just went down the straight and he's pulled out 7 tenths down into one sector. But Kakkonen does have ERS and the slipstream and the fresher tyres. So through this lap he might be able to just about gain and potentially overtake Safu down the straights and into lap 14.
Yes, I'm keeping an eye on DeWill already more than a second behind Leo. Going to be defending from DC here. DC saving his ERS a little bit, perhaps hoping to put DeWill into a mistake, but a very experienced driver. He's not just going to be simply forced into one. Again, Leo right in Kakkonen's tail. Both these guys in softs, they'll be wanting to catch Nelly Safu on the mediums because he could be a threat. Of course, Nelly Safu needs to pit again, so if they can stop him from getting away. Well, actually, they are kind of all in the same situation of taking the softs to the end here will really, really hurt them to the point where pit stop may very well be necessary.
I think 14 laps for some soft is doable, but you'd have to do quite a lot of time management, and I think at that point it would just become undrivable.
Well,
unfortunate.
It'll be 16 laps, won't it? Because you've got lap. Lap 13 included, all the way through to 28. 16 laps on the softs. I mean, I guess you could do it. I'm not sure I'd want to do it.
I wouldn't want to do it, but it is definitely doable. But I think the tyres have become too undrivable to actually drive it comfortably. I think you'd just be losing too much time. But yeah, Leo sets the fastest sector 1. So is he going for the fast lap on the soft wall? He's got them available. Yeah, he's going for the fastest lap. So it could be possible, especially with the ERS and the slipstream of Kakkonen. While they're fighting, he's keeping behind, but keeping up a lot of pace.
Yeah, the field actually keeping it really clean at the moment. No one really being dropped too much. We are seeing some overtakes happening. There, Clerpiar and Big Balls going side by side. Big Balls getting the better of Clerpiar, moving up into P13 towards the tail end of the points. Top 15 drivers getting points. So actually, at the moment, only one finisher isn't going to get points.
It's hard to tell who that might be at this point because everyone's got good pace, keeping it clean. No big incidents so far, apart from. I don't think there's been any actual collisions apart from the one with, I think it was Quick Killer and...
well, there was that one on lap 1 where someone got put into the wall, and then there was the rundown...
Alex and Quick Killer.
The rundown to the hairpin at the end of Sector 2, where I think 2 drivers were spun. It was, I want to say it was Deluxe and Cold Paradox there, but it might have been the other Alpine of... Who's the other Alpine? They're all the same blue. I want to say Clerpiar. Yeah, he might be an Alpine.
A lot of the times I will get the Ferraris and the Alfa Romeos a bit mixed up because in this game a few of the cars look, especially on the track map, look like the same car. So
yeah, well, Ferraris, Alfa Romeos I don't mind too much, especially if there's both there for reference to compare. But it's all the different shades of blue. You've got Red Bull, Mercedes, Alpine, and Williams. All working together to cause maximum confusion.
Oh, and that's Chris. He spun it out of the second. Sorry, I have to put in there. The second chicane. Sorry, I'm just spinning it. Looked like he's on his own, but Strauss and Big Ball's now fighting for P12 through the last sector. Very close.
Apparently, it's 4-star and Cold Paradox in the Alpines. I think it was Cold Paradox then. I still would like to file a complaint for 4 teams deciding to go with blue. I guess Mercedes isn't too bad because they're fairly distinctive, but they don't make our jobs easy.
Well, it's easier to recognise the cars on the left leaderboard rather than the track map, tell by some of the names. But Carl Cohen is now taking the lead from Nelu Safu. Although Nelu Safu, they're both at the box again, like we said. But for now, Carl Cohen should be pulling away on the soft tyres.
What a brave suggestion there, Jacob. You do have a point though, if Alpine go pink, that'll make our life quite a bit easier with commentating. And I know they have gone pink, so hopefully the game actually makes their thing pink and not that weird pink-blue combination they're going to go on to.
Yeah. I'm not really, just F1 talk, I'm not really too sure why they would have changed the liveries 2 races in. I'm a bit confused by that. But
Sponsors.
I wonder which game. Well, yeah, but they're still sponsored by the same people, so.
It could be track related. I'm pretty sure that on some tracks you get the white version of the Red Bull, and on other ones you get the, I guess the more usual one. I can't remember which tracks it is. I can say I've quite literally never. Oh, who's that? Has gone round. Is that Christian?
That is
Club PR.
Club PR, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's gone round there again. Not again. It's
No damage. Leo gets a 3-second penalty. The first penalty of the race. No, sorry, no, it's not. The second penalty of the race. I haven't spotted that Lars had a penalty before.
I think I did mention that one earlier, when it happened.
I didn't even notice. Obviously, we have had Cole Paradox with a 10-second penalty. Yeah. Sorry if you heard that. A few people just outside my house screaming. Yeah, Carl Cohen pulled out quite a lot of time on Nelu, but he's using all his ERS. Nelu is holding back.
Yeah, at the moment I'm enjoying this battle for. It's a battle going to P5. Yeah, P5. Seems DeWill's the main driver under threat on that hard tyre. He plans on taking to the end. Rough the next day on the. on those fresh soft tyres, looking for the overtake. Not quite going for it in the end. Does have the second straight to work with though. Wants a good exit. Here, looks like he's got one compared to DeWill. I think DeWill might have been using a bit of ERS. Oh, that's Strauss gone.
Where is he crashed? That's full safety cab. Where's he crashed?
See there on the on the exit.
On the exit.
And DeWill now will be laughing because he can jump straight to the front. Although some of the other drivers.
This is definitely safe. The other drivers, Carl Cohen, Nelu Safu, and Leo should all box for the soft theoretically. Go to the end of the few laps of safety car.
Yeah, someone's asked about Cole Paradox. So, in Sector 1, you've got, I think it was on turn 3, he must have made a mistake, spun, and he was on the soft tyres, and he just kind of kept trying to point it the right direction, kept getting hotter and hotter. And when he finally got onto the track, he put his foot down a bit too hard and spun off into the wall, losing his front right tyres. I think we'll see most of the drivers going onto softs. DeWill not pitting.
Carl Cohen is. Lars, has now retired. The last corner. He's retired on pit entry. Jesus, he's straight into the pit wall. Unfortunate for him.
Wonder if that was
I just saw it and Club was on board.
A disconnection or what? I mean,
the way he went into it looked like he just turned too late. He looked like he was still in the pit lane, but his wheel just scraped.
We have seen slow crashes into the pit lane before, so hopefully for him it wasn't just a nice simple trying to take it at a sensible speed and then just clips the wall, happens to the DNF out, but the driver's now pulling behind the safety car, and I can't imagine there'll be too many laps behind it. I think we'll go under racing at the end of lap 19, start about 20, so 9 laps of racing.
Just want to say that Lars, it was a self-inflicted thing because he's put in the tier 2 chat. He is stupid. Charles Leclerc's famous quote from Azerbaijan.
Yes.
So he's driven straight into the pit wall, turned too late. And like I said, his wheel was hanging on to a point where it looked like he'd literally driven into the pit wall. Obviously not on purpose, but not what you really wanted. Could have been easy points.
Yeah. Yeah, Lars doesn't seem to have a specific reason for why what happened. Just kind of. Dude, where is he in the championship? I think, yeah, he's 15th currently after round 10. So not doing too strong. He's sitting on 44 points. So yeah, actually he could have done with any points he could really, because for him, a few good points are moving up quite a few positions. He's in that midfield battle where one good result will really move you up quite a lot of places. But at the moment, looking at what we've got here with everyone and what tyres they're on, taking into account penalties, so I guess that only really applies to Leo as now Lars is out, who would you say is going to win from your point of view?
Anyone. It's open to anyone at this point. The second safety car, everyone's bunched up. I was going to say DC. Obviously now he's at the front, but he's been on 7-lap old mediums, and nearly the full field is on fresh soft. So anyone from P5 down to P14 could win it. DC potentially going to get podium. It's just with these 7-lap old tyres. Do-Will on the hards.
I think Do-Will's in
unfortunately.
a good shot. He might be Eastern alive, but guys on the softs, but
yeah, he might just keep it. But I guess
it's
open to anyone.
With 10 laps of racing, I think the hards might actually be better than the softs by the end of it. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, I think it's very unlikely Underboss is going to get the win here. DC's in with a shot. DeWill gets big balls as well, and any of the top 3 guys really on the soft tyres. Leo maybe not having that 3-second penalty. So Calco and Nelu Safu, both those 2 guys fighting for the championship. They're in for a good shot. Obviously the front 2 runners on the softs. And there we go. As expected, the safety car in this lap. I mean, we'll have 9 laps of racing.
DC. I've never actually seen any of his safety car restarts, but hopefully it's enough to hold back his teammate. Maybe if they're playing the team game here in the same party, is Underboss going to hold back the rest of the field just slightly to allow DC to take the win?
Maybe. I don't really think it's the kind of thing he would do. DC, of course, a very experienced driver. One of our 3 head admins at CRL, so he knows what he's doing. He's been here since day 1. Don't think he's got himself a championship. Maybe Underboss is playing the team game here. Because hang on a minute.
Looks like Underboss.
I wouldn't have thought it was likely, but actually I guess it's quite possible. No, he's now closing up the gap a little bit.
Look, there you go, he's
doing
it again.
DC's gone, yeah. Whether deliberately or not, he's helped his teammate out massively here.
He is. He's put that with second in not even 1 corner. There you go, he's closing in again now. Looks like he's going to be playing the team game.
Yeah, Calcoen already under threat from Nelu Safi now. These 2 will be fighting away. Because for them, this is all about the championship. Nelu Safi right on the tail of Calcoen, already used 15% of his ERS, using a bit more now, trying to send it up the inside. A bit late, Calcoen possibly going deep. No, managed to hold it well on the fresh, soft tyres. And that's the advantage of it now. They can really push these tyres for a few laps. You're going to have to be careful towards the end. You can see, yeah, Underboss has managed to back up the rest of the field. And DC's gone, and this is great news for DC. DRS not going to come back.
Sorry.
Yeah, DRS not here till lap. Is it going to be 22, I think? So
it would be 21 to the end of lap. It's the end of the 2nd lap after the start.
Yeah, so start 22.
Yeah.
See here. Big balls on to Will. I think behind, though, more likely we're going to see Calcoen and Nelu Safu. Nelu Safu on the outside, leaving his car there. A little bit of contact between the 2. Calcoen is the one who stays ahead. Somehow no damage to the front wings.
Yeah, as I predicted, Underboss is definitely playing the team game. 1.7 seconds now, nearly 1.8. Yeah, 1.8 now. He's really holding Ferrari back.
Yeah, it's rare you see the team game to this extreme because, you know, teammates will work together unless you captain Nick at Abu Dhabi, who rear ends your teammate, loses your front wing, and gets you both 5 seconds of penalties. But the majority of the time, teammates do work fairly well together. I've never seen it to this extreme before, I don't think.
Yeah, to this extent, 2 seconds in one lap is very extreme.
I guess it could be a pace thing because obviously De Wil's going to be slower anyway on those hard tyres. Underboss, I think it's fair to say he's a slightly slower driver than DC. There's a reason why DC's in the top 5 in the championship. You know, he's got the pace for it. He can certainly fight up there.
Just watching his control for MF Underboss and his throttle, especially in the chicane on the exit. Usually, if you get to the speed, you full throttle it, but it was an alright speed, and he half throttling it. So it just shows to me that he probably is playing the team game. 2.1 seconds now. And that's 2 seconds in 2 laps. Yeah, this could be a really easy win for DC if his teammate is going to play the team game. Potentially hold on the podium as well.
So Big Ball's there using his ERS, and I think it's a waste of ERS. I'd just save that to help you guarantee the overtake. Duel does do it, probably got a warning from that contact, and I think De Wil's going to stay ahead unless De Wil's letting it through after the contact. Hard to say. Slight touch again, and now De Wil under threat from behind of Cal Cohen. A very nice camera angle here. Cal Cohen not able to attack DC. Is he himself having to worry? Not able to attack De Wil. Is he himself having to worry about Nelly Safu? Sorry. So yeah, very, very close battle here. The top 2 now actually running away. Underboss managed to get away from De Wil while he was side by side with Big Balls. And Big Balls, I mean, there we go, DRS re-enabled. Big Balls is going to be faster than Underboss and raw pace, one of the faster drivers here. So I suspect he'll catch. The question of whether or not he drags the rest of the field with him or is able to escape De Wil as he's fighting with his teammate. Ooh, I think Underboss must have had a mistake there. There's no way he lost that much time.
Yeah, that was a big send down from Big Boss, so it looked like that was a bit of a mistake from Underboss. You could tell by the speed that he had as Cal Cohen overtakes Nelly Safu again. They're fighting side by side into the hairpin.
Yeah, those two.
Keeping it just about in track, wasn't it?
Always an interesting battle to watch between those two, of course. I think they were battling in Austria as well, and it's just so nice to see the 2 championship rivals fighting on track as well as in the standings. Cal Cohen looking for the move on De Wil here, braking quite late. I think De Wil might get a very nice cutback here. Better exit and already pulling alongside. See here, little bit of contact. Nelly Safi picking up 3 seconds of penalties, and that could be quite big news.
First to spun it again. I believe that's the 2nd time he's spun it this race.
Yeah.
At the same spot.
Now both drivers are past De Wil, as is Leo. Does seem to be dropping down the field a little bit now. He's coming to the army of soft drivers, and look at this battle between the Honda drivers. Big Balls, Underboss and Cal Cohen really going out here through that 3 apex right-hander.
And I have just noticed nearly 5 seconds between the top 2. Underboss playing a massive team game this race. But Big Balls isn't catching. He's just about catching DC, sorry. Oh, that's a big crash. That is Deluxe. I just saw that in the back of my camera. Chris has been taken out. I just got the rear end of that one. It looked like Deluxe went straight into Chris.
Yeah,
sorry,
both going. Oh, Deluxe is speeding into the pit lanes. I think that, yeah, going to be a retirement. Krishna has got no front wing at all. Oh, safety car. I didn't see that.
That's unfortunate for Deluxe. He could have been brought back into this race with fresh softs. But I just caught the rear end of that. I might save that clip, to be honest, because that was mighty. It looked like he flew straight into the back of the Ferrari. Obviously not meaning to.
So, this really throwing spanner works. So now the question is, who pits, who doesn't? Because De Wil now not in the best position in the world. He might be better pitting for some fresh soft tyres, but at the same time that's a lot of positions to give up. The guys up front, it'll cost you too much because the field's so bunched, you know you're going to come out right at the back.
I'm not too sure, to be honest, because DC and Big Balls are both on 11 lap old mediums. MF Underboss is on 15 lap old mediums. So they're all going to hold each other up, essentially holding up the whole field here.
But also the thing to remember, some of those laps were done under the previous safety car. So actually those tyres are younger than they look, and that will extend even more once they're behind the second safety car. So I don't know, I don't think anyone's going to pit. We might see some of the guys near the back pitting for fresh softs. We might see DeWill pitting, but I think that's unlikely. Yes, it's possible. It might be a bit of a last. Just go for it, hope for the best.
He's going to be on the freshest tyres of all. Well, I have a feeling he probably won't. Yeah, he's not. He's staying out. Going to try and hold off the 3 Honda cars right behind him. And then it's the 3 Mercedes.
Red Bull, AlphaTauri, Red Bull, AlphaTauri. They'll be happy with that.
Yeah. So it's 4 Honda cars in the top 4, then it's 3 Mercedes cars in the top, and then 3 afterwards.
DeWill and Clerpiat both hitting. You can see only Nelly, Safi and Leo with 3 seconds of penalties. Not much for anyone else.
So it'll be about 3 laps. So you've got 25, 26, probably about 3 or 4 laps. For DC to hold off these drivers. A lot of them on old tyres, older tyres, which is where 5 laps is where the softs start to slowly die, from what I saw with the first safety car. So potentially DC might actually be in a better situation than some of the soft drivers.
Yeah, well, if the safety car comes in this lap, we'll have 4 laps of racing. If it stays out for 1 more, we will just have the 3.
DC is probably betting on having 3 right now, for his own sake.
Yeah, I think it'll certainly suit him a bit better.
Ooh, big balls, nearly going straight into the back of DC. Got very, very close between the 2. And the Thunderboss, hopefully, and maybe playing the team game, hold off Carl Cohen.
Did you hear the FIA issued a statement about the safety car today, basically saying it can go quicker, it's just kind of, it goes slow for safety purposes, it's not because the vehicles can't go any quicker.
Yeah, I've always wondered why it goes so slow.
I think it's partly just because if it's yellow, you don't want to, if Marshall's around, you want it to go slower. I guess it could go quicker
at the same time, might be
other parts of the track.
Yeah, it might be a bit unsafe for the F1 cars, which is why for the last few years F1 drivers have been complaining. If it's too slow and the tyres are too cold, then that could also be a safety risk.
So that's 4 laps of racing.
There is in this lap.
So Big Balls is not going to want to give up this potential win. He's going to be right on DC's tail.
This could be an insane launch from DC. Or Big Balls could get him. As he's still not going. There we go, out the final corner using DRS. Pulls away from Big Balls, sorry.
Yeah, and there's only going to be 2 laps that have DRS. Mostly just ERS working for the drivers here. Of course, they all have fairly freshly recharged. So they'll be able to use quite a lot here. Drivers need to make sure actually forget their old habits of trying to save it slightly and just go for it.
I've just noticed that Barstar was holding back up the pack from Rough the next day. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. He left about a second. Catching back up now, but something looked like it was going wrong. This Big Ball is staying within a second of DC. He's going to try and use the DRS to his advantage with the DRS laps. On lap 27, I believe.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. 27 is when it's going to be re-enabled. For the moment.
As DC, you can see, using always the ARS, same with Big Balls and the Boss, all using the ARS. So just trying to stay away from each other. It's flying across the curbs to go to DC to try and kind of run away from Big Balls. As Big Balls has a little bit of a moment.
And you know what, again, Underboss holds up the drivers behind him again. Side by side with Calcone through the triple right-hander, and you know what, that is a spectacle to see. Now got the inside line for this left-hander, I'm not quite sure he has enough to hold the position. Calcone does get through. The Underboss still holding up his championship rival of Nelu Safu.
Yeah, absolutely insane fighting for Underboss. He's cost himself a podium, which, to be honest, he did that for his teammate, from what I can see. Holding up the other drivers. Championship is
it's Nelu Safu.
Sorry. Yeah, it's Nelu Safu. So, Big Balls has crashed. He spun it.
Well, it won't be a safety car this late.
Yes,
Thank goodness for that. Nelu Safu is going on Underboss here. We can see very close, going wide there. Possibly risk getting the warning.
personally, if I was Underboss, I'd let Nel Safu go. Yeah, I've got 3 seconds of penalties, so as long as he stays within 3 seconds. He's got DRS as well, so hopefully he can stay within it as the pull outside. So go down the inside of Nel Safu. Without DRS, but getting very close between the two.
Yeah, I think. No, it's actually looking for the cutback. Underboss went so slowly, he wasn't able to get the cutback as he initially wanted.
But yeah, it looks like DC with just 2.5 laps to go. DC is very much in contention for the win here. Personally, I think he is going to win, like I said before. But at the same time, anyone could have won it on the new tyres.
Sorry to interrupt, Nelly Safu really been helped by Underboss so much that Rough the next day is actually able to get through up into P4.
I think my vote for driver of the day has to go for Rough the next day. P20 to a potential podium, P3. He's got a lot of pace.
Oh, hang on.
Oh,
where did that come from?
Nelly Safu's.
He's ran out of ERS deployment this lap. DRS now re-enabled, so with just 2 laps left to go. The front 2 miles ahead of the rest of the field. This battle for P3 is still raging on at the moment. Underboss leading it.
Yellow flags.
Krishna's retired on the main straight. There won't be a safety car for that. It's too late in the race. Just 2 laps left to go.
Yeah, as I was saying, definitely going to give vote for the driver of the day to Rough the next day 1. Insane drive from P20 all the way up to P5, maybe even podium if he can keep hold on. But yeah, insane drive today.
I'm going to give it out to Underboss here. He's doing a mighty fine job at defending from all these guys in the softs.
No, he's not. Underboss.
That might have been Nelu Safu assisted. I'm not too sure on that one, but Nelu Safu almost immediately being overtaken by Rough the day. You can see already, actually, you might be overtaken by 3 drivers on one straight here. Hobbsy Rolf the next day and Leo. Leo perhaps getting 2 of them, going a bit deep there. And it's all going everywhere. Hobbsy side by side with Nelu Safu, not able to get the move done. And it's really kicking off now towards the end. Just a lap and a half left to go.
Oh,
the side by side for P3, the side by side for P5.
Fighting for the lead, sorry. So I just noticed DC. Falcone has taken the lead from DC.
Ah, okay, we'll have to keep an eye on that one. For the moment, I'm going to stay on board with this absolute crazy battle. It's actually 3rd and 4th pulled away from this Nelu Safu DeWill battle. And Underboss is down to 12th position. He must have had... Oh no, we saw him spin, didn't we? Sorry. Underboss did have an incident, but we saw it. I just have a rubbish memory. See, the drivers are still racing here. Actually, Nelu Safu will want to get back past Leo because he wants those points for his championship, especially with Cal Cohen finishing in 1st. And Leo's in person on track. He can race, actually count towards position. But at the moment, it's like Cal Cohen's going to claim the championship lead. DC not being dropped just yet.
Feeling DRS can keep it from here. He's just missed by a 1/10 of a second.
Yeah,
but he has got 1 extra shot.
Right on the tail. Oh, and that's good news from Nelu Safu. Leo getting 3 more seconds of time penalties, up to 6 seconds now. As he goes very, very wide there. He might get more than just 3 seconds to that one. DeWill up into P4. Nelu Safu sitting behind in P5. Give me a better camera angle, please. There we go.
Just watching the fight between DC and Cal Cohen. I think Cal Cohen has just about run off with the from DC. 1.5 seconds. He's not got DRS. But an insane fight between DC and Cal Cohen for the last 2 laps. Rough the next day, hopefully, just about clinging onto the podium.
But look at this. For P6, there's 4 of them going 3 wide back there. Absolutely bonkers. Leo having to cut. Oh, Leo, yep, having to go around the thing, and he's really dropped down towards the end. I think it's Hobbsy's going to end up winning this battle. Sorry, no, DeWill's going to win this battle for P5. No, P4, keep getting distracted. Don't think too many other overtakes.
Cal Cohen.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cal Cohen comes around the final corner to take the win.
And there we go, Cal Cohen wins round 10 and reclaims the championship lead. After missing those 2 races, dropping back down, Roth the next day, finishing off the podium in 3rd for the reserve, DeWill 4th. We're going to have Hobbsy, Nelu Safu, but his penalty brings him down to 8th position. So Hobbsy, Alex, forced on Nelu Safu, then Clerpiart, Big Balls. I'm not sure if Leo finished ahead or behind of the driver. Who was it? Underboss who'd spun. I think Leo probably finished behind Underboss in the end. Yes, he did. Rough the next day getting the in-game driver of the day. And what an end to that race. Safety car really bringing a twist onto things.
DC is not happy with that final safety car from what he's put in the chat. Yeah.
But I'm just so impressed. Only one driver got spun through that entire last lap battle. And even then, it wasn't really in that intensive moment. It's just a driver on mediums fighting a bit too hard. I'm not sure if Ned Mustafa assisted him wrapped or if he took himself out there. But
I'm going to guess we're doing interviews again.
yes.
This race?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Right, okay. I'll ask an admin to do it because I do not have permission.
No, I can add them. I've got the roles.
All right. But yeah, Cal Cohen takes the win with DC just behind him by 2 seconds. Cal Cohen pulled up quite a lot of time. Rough the next day, 6.7 seconds behind DC to take the third podium, the third step of the podium. Doolittle takes P4, Hobbsy P5, Alex P6, Four-Star P7. Nelu Safu takes P8 after an amazing drive. Clerper P9, a few incidents but still managed to keep up P9. Big Balls, been amazing at the front until the final safety car. MF won the boss, what a legend. DC's been thanking him all night after his amazing defence. Chris having that late, I think it was like the last 2 lap spin, but that's unfortunate.
And also, something to point out, Cal Cohen also got the fastest lap, so he gets the full 41 points.
Yeah, as Strauss just said in the chat, it's an amazing debut for Rupp the next day, a podium on his first ever race.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how you want to do it. You can see there, this is the standings post round 10. So Cal Cohen would have got 41 points from that. I honestly can't remember where Nelu Safi finished, but certainly was not high enough to hold on to his championship lead.
Yep.
And let me try and find the results. I'm not being a plonker here.
Good evening.
Hello.
I think we're still waiting on 2 more drivers.
Yeah, I'll start it off by congratulations. Win and fastest lap.
Yeah, thank you.
Actually,
Was a tough one.
And you reclaimed the championship lead, which I'm sure you've been looking forward to doing for a while.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Hello.
DC.
I don't even want to be here.
Oh, sorry. We meet yet again.
Yeah, not in a way I'd have liked.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it was the contact between Christian and Deluxe that ended up bringing out the safety car. We didn't catch it on the stream, but of course, it was all going your way until it happened.
I was just counting down the laps. It got to like lap 22 just before the safety car had come out, and I was like, right, 6 more to go. I had about 4 or 5 second lead, and
Yeah. I'm trying to remember where people finished. Did Strauss get to the end?
no.
No, he didn't. I think he caught the safety car, didn't he?
Well, may have. So
He caused the first one, yeah.
so you then jump up into P3 in the championship, DC. Even if you would have liked more points, you certainly have moved up.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, Cal, can we start with you? First off, how did you find the race in general?
Maybe a bit messy.
Yeah.
No, with the slower drivers in front and then fast behind it. Yeah, that made it quite difficult.
Yeah, and of course, I assume you knew when that safety guard came out, your kind of chances had improved of getting the win. Did you expect you'd get the win once the safety guard came out, or was it kind of something that snuck up on you a bit and you were happy once it came?
Well, I wasn't thinking about the win, to be honest, when the safety car came out. I was more thinking like maybe P2 or something. But Yeah, I think after DC had the slight like
Yeah,
error,
I lost traction out the hairpin.
I think that helped me a lot because I think if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have got him.
Yeah, don't rub the salt in a wound's Calcone. Come on now.
Yeah.
Do you know if Underboss was deliberately defending for you, DC? Because it seemed that
I don't know. I know his setup was an 8-6, so I know it wasn't. It was only meant for the straights. So I don't know. I don't think he was doing it on purpose because he obviously wanted the podium himself.
no.
But it definitely helped me out a bit.
Yeah, well, it seemed to work really well from a defensive point of view. It's just bomb it down the straights and go slow in the corners.
Yeah, and that seems to be the way he went.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, look, didn't get him on the straight but into a corner because otherwise it would have been a struggle.
Oh, I'm actually gutted.
Yeah, I get that. Sorry.
so next week we've got Imola. How are you two at that track? Looking forward to
Was it Imola? Is it? I thought it was Baku.
No, it's Imola then Baku.
I can't read.
So yeah, next week round 12 is Imola. Baku's the one after that, which would be a sprint race.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to think anymore. I absolutely hated this track and would have bitten somebody's arm off for a P2 today. But then as soon as you're in that position, you want it all. But
yeah.
So I don't know what to think about tracks anymore. I'm always there saying I don't like them, but stuff like today happens. So.
Yeah. I'll very quickly try and work out what the gap between you two is, points wise. So, by my calculations, you are. How many? You would have lost 8 points. So you're 76 points behind Calcoen now, with 4 rounds to go. So you're still within a chance of getting the championship, though quite a way back.
Yeah, very, very, very slim, man.
I will most likely miss 2 races, so.
Again.
Don't say that.
Puts pressure
No,
on.
Don't give me hope, Calcoen.
I got my schedule from internship and I have to work 2 Thursday evenings.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to get that replaced, but I don't think so. So you still have a chance, mate. Don't give up.
I don't even. I know that I'm out of the title fight. I know I'm not really in it. I just wanted a win this season. I felt like that was it. But
Yeah.
I got too excited,
Oh, have you not got a win yet?
No. P2's been my best result.
Because you've been on the podium so many times with lots of interviews.
I think how many rounds have we had?
This is round 10, I think. Or no, this is round 11.
I think I've been on the podium 6 or 7 times, but never got a win.
Ouch.
It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get there one day. Worst case, you just give everyone a 20-second penalty. Benefits of being head admin. Yeah, Calcoen, I'll let you go and celebrate DC. I'll let you celebrate and mourn at the same time. But
I'm happy, but I'm not, Well done, Calcoen. Well done, mate.
Yeah, you too, mate. Never let the winner or not. You drove an amazing race.
Cheers, mate.
Alright, see you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, boys.
Yeah, see you guys later.
Right, there we go. That concludes round 11. I mean, how did you find it? I don't know. You say you don't often watch Tier 2, so what do you think of it?
I'm a bit more of a. I watched Tier 1 a little bit more. Obviously focusing on Tier 4 is what I race. What Tier 1 is what I watch. Yeah, very, very clean, good quality racing tonight. It's my first time commentator too. It was quite a hectic race, but at the same time, it was very.
Especially that end.
It was a packed race.
That end under the safety car. Actually, speaking of Tier 1, the link should be in the description as you've been here a while. I'll check it in the chat again, but Tier 1 are on lap 1 of the race, so we're going to end fairly promptly. There you go, there's the link for their stream, assuming I've done the right one. Yeah, I think thank you from me and Zenon. It's been nice having you. And actually, I was going to say I'll see you next week. No, I won't. I'm not able to do next week. So you'll have Hedgehog and potentially a co-commentator with him. But yeah, from me that's goodbye.
Yep. Thank you all for joining tonight. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Bye.